Hello and welcome back to Holopon Solo Sagas. So we are continuing our adventures of our Orcs rampaging through the Derelict as it progresses slowly towards heaven. And we haven't actually what we'll do first time, we'll roll one of the prophecies because we haven't done that, but we've had quite a few different ways what we could have done. We are on our 9th episode of Orc Borg and we're about to roll our first prophecy. Let's roll our first prophecy. We didn't do a day by day thing because we haven't really been doing many days. We've just been rampaging through the Derelict. We tore through 04 with our 3 cyborgs who collected a 4th. The cyborg with no name, nameless, or mouse. I think it was rabbit because of his teeth, because we rolled that. And they've now got to Astra Demonita. Hold on, from using the cyborg, we're using it's version 3 that was released last week. We have Astra Demolita, which is the Dominion class Arc Mechanicus. We're now attempting to go through that. That's the bit that we're going to go through. But before we get there, on the way, we are going to roll a prophecy and then we'll write down what it is and then we'll move on. What is going to affect us prophecy-wise? We'll have greens. So standard thing, it's a D66 table. Work it out. Greens, we've got 44. So what kicks off? The bearer of the pipe of impalement stages a big fucking crusade against the techno wizards. Oh, we've got the techno wizards here. No, the techno wizards is 04. So we're leaving as we can hear all sorts of ruckus in 04 as the bearers of the pipe of impalement. They're charging the techno wizards rampage, which is where we are from, 04. And we are clear. So what have we got? We've got 44 is the prophecy, which is our first one of the 7 prophecies. We rolled it anyway because that's what we're going to do. We didn't do the diminishing, we just rolled a new prophecy. So we're moving through Astra Demolita, and we're going to attempt to find what's happening. We need to find 2 special X sections. We're going to reset it to 0 special areas, and we're going to say that the 4 of us, we've got, just to you know, you could go back and watch the other ones, but I'm not going to force you to do that. We've got Zern of the Iron Meat Fist. Now, Zern is kept wearing scrap armour, because all orcs are northern. He lost both arms and a leg gambling on the tentacle beast pit fights in the pits, and has built himself. He's got a foot-high buzz-cut afro, and he's self-constructed. He has 2 powers. He can summon a car, beep, beep, and he can electrify the ground and target any enemy in the area with an electric shock. And he's got 3 uses of that. He's got Shiv and Electric Hand. He didn't get any of the special finds. Then we've got the twins, Haraf and Grishnak, both wielders of the Endless Mook. And so we've got Grishnak. Grishnak can compress things into a small space. If he casts it, then in a D4 rounds, the thing just goes and becomes like pea-sized. He also developed some faith in the Orcish gods, and who manifested the ability for him to then cast a prayer and grow massive. He gets +4 to all of his rolls. He gets +6 damage, but he's -4 to dodging because he's so massive. Horoth is one of the twins. Grishnak is a twin to Horoth. They both were survivors of a raid on 3 Hull. Grishnak's massive, got big tattoos. He's covered in, his eyes messed up. He's covered in tiny cameras, which gives him an advantage in initiative. He can overclock, and he's covered in gaffer tape graft. He has one of the 2 special weapons they found, because we rolled those 2 20s. He has a Wrecker, which is a massive 2-handed sort of jackhammer, basically. Horoth also has a massive 2-handed jackhammer. Horoth is the one who can also summon a car. Beep, beep. He's also had his voice box manipulated, so he can talk in a very loud voice, and I think I gave that as the enemies would be at -4, so they're +4 to dodge, basically. Because they're stunned by Horoth's very loud screechy voice. Horoth has massive teeth, and he and his brother Grishnak were both techno wizard's bodyguards, but they messed it up. Haroth hasn't got any armour at the moment, and I need to remember that. And then we have Rabbit, who is semi-naked cyborg that they built last session. Rabbit of the Nameless. Rabbit doesn't have any weapons or anything, but he is covered in cameras. He's got bare knuckle fists, and he has the ability to turn the lights on and off, which can give them a +4 for sneaking and give them a +2 for dodging. And that is the team as they all stand at the doorway to Astra Demolitor, thinking, what are we going to do? Once a Dominion class Arc Mechanicus, the Astra Demolitor crashed into the Derelict, killing its crew but leaving its machines active. Now, 2 rogue AIs, Omnicratus, the Iron Theocrat, and Exomortus, the Unshackled Mind, wage an endless war. Automated defences steal fire, factories churn out new war machines, and data vaults hum with lost knowledge. The halls are cold metal, tangled wires, and flickering cogitators. No life, no light, only the echoes of war. Abandoned shrines to the God Emperor remain untouched, guarded by lifeless servitors. To step aboard is to enter a battle that never ends. You know, though I did put no life, no light, that's because it sounded good. There probably is light somewhere. So, we are going to enter the Dominion class Arc Mechanicus, the Astra Demolitor, and we will begin looking. So we'll draw our entrance. So this is our room of entry. We are going to see what we enter straight off. The old with +0 to this, so that gives us 1 pass, 1 miss. It's a normal room that we enter with a normal room. Because we haven't found any special areas in here yet, we will roll on our exits table to find out how many exits there are from this room, which is a D4. We've got a 1 on a D4, none is a 1 exit. So we've got 1 exit coming out the back, and we come in this way. We are going to roll on our normal table for Astra Demolitor. Our area type to find out what area we've just come into. We've come into a 6. 6 gives us a Vault Archives, Memory Crypts, Reinforcement Hub. Let's call this a Reinforcement Hub. There might be some stuff here that we need to mess up. A Reinforcement Hub. So we would say we were going to roll on the area description first. A 4. Endless assembly lines, clattering gears, scavenged wreckage. Alright, so it's building things. So this is a factory line building stuff. We're not too sure what it's building, but it's building stuff. We're going to then roll on the area contents for this random area, which is a 5. 5 is a common encounter. Alright, so I have done a common encounter table. We've got buzz drones coming in at number 1, and we've got medical stuff or loot coming in at number 6 because we've got the loot tables. And then we've got 5 more that we don't know about, so we'll roll a d6, and this is what the lads are going to come across. 6, there's loot. All right, so we're going to say that if we come into this room, there is nothing majorly going on. I am going to roll. Let's do just a check, and we'll give presence. So we've got a presence of 0. What did Rabbit have? Rabbit might be able to spot something useful. Rabbit's presence is also 0. So we've got 2 people with a 0. Everyone's got 0 presence. No one's got a positive presence at all. So we're just going to roll, and we're going to see. Now there is loot here. We'll either have to have medical stuff or if there's no hits, we'll go. Oh no, 1 hit. That's all right. So we'll do a roll on the loot table, and we'll see what comes up. We won't give them 2 things, and because it also means you get to use a loot table, which is brand new, which is pretty cool. So what I've done with the loot table is I have created 30 descriptions of weapons that we will just assign a random die to see whether we think it would do a little bit of damage, a medium bit of damage, or a lot of damage. We will narratively give it that. There are 30 items which are useful that we could possibly take with us, and then we could build into the narrative. There are 30 items that are I just made shit up, basically, just stuff that I thought might be a bit funny. And then we've got 10 items which would be artifacts, which are really good things. I put all that into a big long list, and I just randomly put it into a list, so it can come out in any order. So we've got percentages. 57. Now, this is why I haven't done it yet, because I spent ages doing this. Doing like 10 a day, asking my kid to come up with one. Meat attractor, lures beasts and hungry things. All right, so we have able to get hold, we might do two things. Let's do two things so as you can see what's on this table. A meat attractor. So if we get a physical thing, we'll give that to Zern. So if we come against, which we probably won't here, because there's not going to be much living things in here. But there are some, in some of the encounter tables I've done, there's like things that have already come in here or have got trapped in here. But if we ever get to survive this and go into one of the other holes, then Zern might be able to use that to distract something that's coming charging against us or coming and look for us. We'll have one more because, oh no, we only got one hit. All right, we'll give the lads a go trying to look, but they could roll a trap or a encounter. Hold up, what's that? Against, so this is the DR. The DR is 12. And so we've got minus miracles. We're not spending any miracles. So it's 12. And we've got a 0 presence. So it's a weak hit. It's a weak hit. It's a 12 hits it with a weak hit. With the weak hit, there might be something here. So we've got to roll a d6. On a 1 to 2 is now. On a 3, random card. 4, 5, stuff. 6, it's a trap. Okay, so we're going to roll a d6. A 1 and a 2 is nothing. A 6 is a trap. Anything else we'll roll on your loot table. 3, that means we roll on the loot table. Good. We'll have another roll on the loot table. 93. There's no order, so height doesn't necessarily mean it's any good. Oh, this is an artifact. We find an artifact. The artifact is the Fate Rewinder Cube. Another shot at not dying. Once per day, you can re-roll any roll that failed, or basically any roll. So you can re-roll fate. That's an artifact. Who shall we give that to? We could give that to Nameless, to Rabbit. Rabbit hasn't got anything else, so Rabbit is going to grab the fate. Well, let's just roll a d4. So I've got them here in this order. Whatever this rolls up, this is the person who finds it. 4. It's right at the bottom. That's Haroth. Haroth, who has no shoes, has got the Fate Rewinder Cube. It's like a Rubik's Cube with constantly clicking sides that clicks around and changes constantly. That is what we have found. So we are in that section. We found stuff and we did not have an encounter, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we will voyage on. We are moving on, discovering what we can discover. Did I reset the clock? I did. So we still have 0 found special areas, so it's 12s we're looking for. We've got a 17, which is a pass, and a 10, which is a foul, so it's another normal area. So we leave that area, we enter another normal area. How many exits does this have? So 4 might be no exits actually. 4, we found 0, here it is. Oh no, it's 3 exits for this. So we found 0 special things, so we've got 3 exits coming out of here. So we can backtrack to this area here. I'll show you the map. I haven't shown you the map yet. Look, it's fantastic, isn't it? I actually do have qualifications in art, surprisingly enough. I was going to go, I think I've talked about this, I was going to go and do an art degree. But I chickened out because I was just young and had no belief or faith in myself. And so instead I did a degree in physics, which I might as well have done a degree in art because of what I do now. Anyway, so let's see what's in here. We want, so we'll do from the generic areas. We could go for a generic area type. So for the generics, we roll a d12. We'll do generic area types, and then we'll do the generic area adjectives to describe the area, which is a d20. And then we could do what the area contents is, and that is a d12, which is the green 212. So we'll have the area type first, then we'll have the adjectives, and then we'll say what the contents is. So we've got the type, the adjectives, and the contents. So the type, we've got a 6, engine room, power core, reactor bay. Let's call it a reactor bay. So all of this is bright and shiny. The reactor bay, we've got 15, twitchy organic. Okay, So maybe we've got something came in here. Maybe something came in here from the Maiden's Lament. So we've got organic. So we've got organic or twitching. So something is living in here from the Maiden's Lament. So something came in here from the Maiden's Lament. So depending on what this comes up with, we might roll on the Maiden Laments tables. So we have for the area contents a 7, a common encounter. All right, we're going to roll on the Maiden Laments tables for encounters, because we're going to say that something came in from the Maiden's Lament. We'll roll on the common encounters table, which is a D6. If we come up with something, we're going to put it in from the Maiden's Lament. From the 4 is a thing. We'll go from the Maiden's Lament tables, as I've just said several times. Enemies, Maiden's Lament enemies, D6. The one thing I was about to say is if I roll a 6, which is the Maiden herself, we are re-rolling. The Maiden wouldn't leave the Maiden's Lament. A 5, mutated elf warlord, and a D4 elf guards. All right. So there's an elf warlord and D4 elf guards with the warlord. So these are in one guard. So warlord. I don't think this warlord, even though he's hardcore and one guard, is actually going to stand it. So they have come in here. The elf warlord and the elf guard is in the core book, in the enemies of the core book. Look, there they are. Elf guard, elf warlord. I tried to do the same sort of stuff, but I don't think it's as bright as the stuff Roll Ink Uns. I don't think it's bright and as good as the stuff that he does. His design is... Alright, I'm going to quickly write out what the warlord is and the elf guard. We could actually, before I do that, just in case, we're going to see what sort of state they're in, because if they're not going to want to fight us, I might as well not bother writing them all out. We are going to do, they've been in here a while, we're going to roll reactions using the reaction table from the core book, and we are going to see what sort of reaction they've got. They're going to have to us as we stroll in. The 4 of us is an 11. They're happy to see us, it says. All right, I won't write them out just yet. I'll use them straight from the book, and we'll only write them out if they're going to. So why would they be happy to see us? Where are our verbs? Our verbs and adjectives. We've not used these in a while. Let's roll our verbs. Why are these, this warlord and this elf, why are they happy to see us? Why are they happy to see us, we ask ourselves. Where's my other detail? Here it is. 79. 79. Overwhelm. Okay, so they're overwhelmed by something, and we can probably help them with it. Let's go for nouns. 40. We'll do 2 nouns, mate. 40. Blast. That's maybe why there's only 2 of them. 24. 24. Core. Okay. So what did I say this was? I said this was a reactor bay. All right. So they were exploring the reactor bay. So they're injured. So let's say they are injured. They were carrying something. They were bringing something on to this ship from the Maiden's Lament to basically try and sabotage the ship. They got caught in the reactor bay. There was some gunfire. They were overwhelmed. One of the cores got hit. It exploded, which is injured. Probably it would be the warlord, wouldn't it? The warlord is injured. Let's make the warlord is trapped. The warlord is trapped. The elf guard, who's the one survivor, is trying to get him free and can't. Let's see. The elf guard has a morale of 8. We will have, our lads are going to try and do a presence test and an attempt to convince them that we can actually help. There's 4 of us. I mean, like, overall, we've got mixed strengths. Most of us are really, not to be rude, but piss weak. So we are going to attempt to do a presence test. I'm going to do it as a 2 dice presence test. So we can have a strong hit and they love us, a weak hit and we will try and help them, but they won't trust us or stick around, and a weak one, and that elf guard is going to engage us in combat, basically. So we will have our target. We could do the target of 12, makes the target easy, or we could make the target a bit harder. I mean, 12 is the level of this raid. This raid is at 12. We've got where's our difficulty levels? So normal is 12, pretty much impossible is 18. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think they're going to like us, so we might make it a 14. A 14 makes it hard. We've got, is there any sort of magic we could do? We could try and get him to shout, which would mean that they can't help but listen to us. Well, that's what we're going to do. We will see if we succeed or fail. If we fail, he's going to try shouting and see if he can just hammer it home. So this is +0. We've got a weak hit. So a weak hit is all right. So he's wary. So the elf is going to say, "What do you want with us?" My commander is trapped. So he's there. He's got, what do I say they've got in the book? I think they've got blasters. A cannon. Yep. So this elf has a cannon. He's got a sword across his back. He's got a cannon. He's got it aimed at them. Do not come any closer. And they're still coming from. All right, fella. What's going on here? He looks in a poor way. We're good at this stuff. We fixed him. Yes, they did. They fixed me up right, good and proper. Look at me. As he's got like all tin cans all over his head, like sticking out of his head. He's got like a haircut, which is half tin cans of beans. That's just all over his head. I look great, don't I? And then the elf is going to say, "Hold where you are and do not step any closer to us. My comrade is injured and I do not know what to do." That's right. We'll get him out, won't we? Come on, lads. And because we rolled that, he's going to just back off and he's going to cover them as they try and get him out. And then we'll do another reaction roll afterwards because they're happy to see, because it might help. And then we'll see if he actually shoots them or anything. Now, we've got 2 of them at -2 strength, 1 of them at -1, and 1 at +1. So the +1 and -1 will say negates each other, which gives us -2s. So we will give them, we'll say there's a chance that they drop, if they fail, they lift it, drop it, and he will get, how much hit points? He's got 16 hit points. Let's give him 8 hit points remaining. He's trapped. He's unconscious, which is why he didn't talk. But he's going to be very angry because he's a mutated elf warlord. He's never taken alive. He has a prayer, but he's unconscious at the moment. So if they can get him out and repair and like do healing, which will give him a presence test, we'll say that everything goes like thumbs up for them. So they're going to attempt it, but they've got -2. We'll give them a standard difficulty of 12, which means they still need to roll 14s. If they get a weak hit, he gets out, but he takes damage, and they're going to do they might get a negative reaction. If they get a strong hit, they get him out, it's fine, everything's lovely. A weak hit, they drop it on him and the elf's going to open fire on them and we'll have combat. We get a weak hit because even that with -2 is a 14, which is good enough for me, Jimmy. That's a 1, but it doesn't matter. So it's a weak hit. So it gets dropped. The warlord takes 1 point of extra damage, that's fine. So he takes 7, he's on 7 hit points. The guard would be on 4 hit points, which is 7 hit points for an elf guard from my book, the GME. Shall I push it for a bit? I haven't pushed it, have I? Before I have to reset the cameras, as I always have to do, I'll push that and then give a bit of a pause, and YouTube will probably stick a normal advert in. So the GME is out again, as I said. Now that it's level 4, it's version 4. I won't put the price up for this publish, but the next one, which is going to have more holes in, I'll bump the price 50 cents, maybe again, 50 cents or 75 cents. I'm going to start talking in euros, aren't I? But we'll bump it up. It's getting, so it's probably in the range, it's probably going to be approach 60 pages. I haven't formatted the loot table into it yet. I'm going to do that this afternoon, as I now am jobless. So that's probably going to come up to 60 pages. That's not bad. 60 pages isn't bad for about $4. 60 pages, which if you wanted to run this as a DM, this would help you make missions. It'd help you do all that sort of stuff. And as a solo player, you don't need any other GME to play it off of, and this will give you perfect for Orc Borg. You probably could use it for other stuff. If you wanted just a 40k themed thing, this would give you a 40k. Although I do have 40k role playing, and I am thinking of playing that soon. So anyway, there you go. Now we'll do a little bit of a pause. So that wasn't for an advert, though they probably did chuck in an advert, because apparently they're chucking in loads of mid-roll adverts nowadays. That's mainly because I have to reset all the things, otherwise. If you look at any of my old videos, near the tail end of a long video, the sync starts to go out. It used to be a pain, and I realised the only way I could stop that is if I cut every 25 to 28 minutes and then reset everything, and then when I do the editing, I just paste all those little chunks together. Anyway, back to the flow. So we've got the guard out. The guard has still got us covered. Now the question now is, so if this is a negative on this reaction roll, we are going to say they're just going to tell us to F off and we're going to leave. If this is a positive, they're going to help us. They'll give some way they can help us. Maybe we can try doing a healing. We'll try and do a healing first. We'll give one of them was going to try doing, who is probably the more, who was the one who did the I think it was Zern, wasn't it, who built himself. Zern, the Iron Meat Fist, who built himself, he is going to attempt, we're just going to give him a straight roll, we won't bother doing a weak hit, strong hit. He's going to see if he can heal the elf. It's a 12 to hit, he's got a 0. If he fails, it's fine, he just doesn't know elf anatomy. If he gets a 1, he damages him. I wasn't expecting that at all. Alright, so he does a d6 damage on him. 6, okay, alright. The warlord screams. The elf guard says, "What are you doing?" And the elf guard opens up with the cannon on them. They do not win initiative. Actually, we will give Grishnak a chance because he's got the cameras. Actually, Rabbit's got cameras as well, isn't he? Yes. Grishnak and Rabbit can attempt to roll initiative each. If they win, then they get to act before the elf does. So Grishnak got +1. Rolls a 1. No, fails. Rabbit has got -2, so needs to roll 14s. 13. No, he fails. Okay, so they're all oblivious to what goes on. The elf is going to fire cannon. The mutated elf warlord was unconscious. Will roll his morale. If he succeeds on his morale, he is conscious and he will attack as well, though he's near death. He'll use his. He'll cast a prayer. We'll randomly roll a prayer and he'll cast a prayer. So the elf first is going to shoot. We'll say he can shoot the cannon. I think the cannon can maybe hit multiple people. Doom cannon. No, it's not a doom cannon. It's just a cannon. Range two-handed with presence. So he's got two-handed assault cannon. Does D8 damage, which I think I've written in the book anyway. Did I write in the book anyway? Yes, I did. D8. All right. He's going to fire with the cannon. He only can attack one of them. He will attack starting from the top of the pile. Number 3. 1, 2, 3. It's Zern. That is Zern is number 3 in the pile. All right, Zern is going to get shot. Zern needs to try and roll. We're going to say he's going to open up with 2 attacks. 2 attacks seems fair. He's got to roll 12s. He's got a +2 agility. He doesn't have any negatives, so he's just got to roll 10s. 2 hits, 2 successes in dodging. The elf lays in, trying to hit Zern twice. Zern has injured the mutated warlord. The mutated warlord, does he get to wake up? He's got a morale of 9, which means that we need to roll equal or under a 9, and the warlord will wake up and cast his thing. 9 exactly is equal to or under. We will give him a random prayer, D10 for prayer. He gets an 8, slam, D6 to everyone standing within arm's reach. Alright, so he is going to call upon the elf maiden, the elf queen, so the maiden, and her, he's saying it all in elvish, and her powers. to draw vines and various jungle things out of the ground. They're going to grab hold of everyone and attempt to slam everyone to the ground. We will say it's an auto success, and everyone needs to make an agility roll, or they take a d6 damage. So we will go. Oh, how will we do it? It's probably quicker if I roll the d6 and a d20 at the same time. Zern needs to roll 10s, or yep, so he doesn't take any damage. So Zern resists, or we could do it strength. What would you reckon? Strength probably, isn't it? Strength is resisting being slammed to the ground. I mean, it is a success anyway, because he's got a -1 strength and that beats 12. Horoth has a -2 strength, so Horoth takes 3 points of damage as he is slammed to the ground. And Horoth is prone, so we'll say Horoth is prone. So he's got to stand up, make an agility roll to stand up. Rabbit has got a -2 strength, so he needs to roll 4. So he gets slammed to the ground. He's now on 2 hit points. He is prone. Grishnak succeeds, and Grishnak is fine. So Zern is fine, Grishnak is fine. That goes slammed to the ground. We have, so Zern and Grishnak, I will say, can act. Horoth and Rabbit stand up, as what they're doing is they're going to attempt to stand up, and Grishnak and Horoth can do something. Where's my, there it is. So I'll erase the prones. Might as well not bother writing it. They are going to stand up because they only have, actually Rabbit doesn't even have a weapon. They don't have ranged weapons, and so they are going to stand up, and the other two will go charging in. We will have Grishnak as his wrecker. Zern is going to attempt to do smite. So Zern will act first. Zern is going to attempt to do smite. He needs to do a presence test and beat a 10 because he is a cyborg. He has 0 for his presence. That's a 3, so he fails, which I think means he takes a D2, which he takes 1 point of damage, putting him down to 9 hit points. Then we will have Grishnak. He could try and compress one of them, but I think he's going to charge in and use the wrecker. He's a strength of +1. He needs to roll. They don't have any negatives. No. Is he going to attack the elf with the gun or the warlord? He's going to attack the elf with the gun. He's got armor. He's got old remains of once great armor at -D2. He does have 7 hit points, but he's using the wrecker. So he needs to roll 12s. He's got a +1 strength. He needs to roll 11s. He rolls a 17. Oh, actually, he's got +2 because of his damaged eye. So he actually needed to roll 13s, but he still hits. He does a D10 worth of damage to the elf. He does 3 points of damage. He can remove D2. He removes 2, so he takes 1 hit point. That was weak. And that is Grishnak. And Zern failed to do his power. We'll say that takes one of the powers anyway. And then that is the end of that. We then have them again, isn't it? Then we have the elf. So the elf is going to move over towards the elf warlord, who's on 1 hit point, and sort of help drag the elf warlord back. The elf warlord has a doom cannon and ripper claws. I might have the elf warlord, because the elf warlord's doom cannon fires the whole clip at once, so it does a D3 attack. So he's going to fire off that, doing 2 attacks, attacking these 2 as I have them here. Number 3 and number 1. Number 1 is Zern again, and number 3 is Horoth. So he is going to fire, which is a D8 damage. So Horoth is going to attempt to dodge first. Horoth has a 0 agility, D8 damage was a D8. This could kill him. He needs to roll 12s, 17. So he dives to the ground and rolls to get back up to his foot and foot. And then we have Zern, who needs to roll 10s. And Zern also dodges as the rounds come pelting out, tearing up some of the the consoles in this bright shiny room, but it's got all of this jungle stuff around it from the device that they left. Then we've got the elf. The elf hasn't got them unawares, so the elf will attack one of them, starting at the top, going down to number 2. Number 2 is Grishnak. Grishnak is going to get shot at. Grishnak is going to try and dive for cover, try and avoid. He's got +1 in his 11s. He gets clipped, takes 1 point of damage. His scrap armor does a D2, so it will protect him from that 1 point. So he goes, Grishnak dives behind a panel of, realizes it's just a glass wall. Everyone's shouting, "Get out of the way!" as the elf starts to fire in with his two-handed cannon. Holes go through the glass. Grishnak dives to the ground. There's a sparking as the bullets ricochet off the back of his stainless steel protective mangler things, and he dives to the ground. And then we'll go around and see what everyone's going to do. Now Rabbit is up. Rabbit has no weapon whatsoever. Rabbit is going to charge in with his fist and try and punch the warlord, because the warlord is looking a bit weak. He's got a strength of -2. He needs to roll 14s. I think it's a D4 for damage. The elf warlord has a D6 armor. He runs in. He fails to strike the warlord, so that doesn't matter anyway. So he's standing right up in front of the warlord. So the warlord is definitely going to go for Rabbit next turn. Zern could try and attack them both with his smite again. I don't know if he's allowed to, but he's going to. He needs to roll a 10. He has a 0 for presence. He's going to try and electrocute the 2 elves. He fails with a 9. I think that's it for him. Well, no, we'll say that consumes 1 more. He's got 1 left. Still takes D2 damage, takes 2 points of damage as it backfires on him and electrocutes him. He still hasn't done anything. Then we've got Horoth and Grishnak. They are going to look at each other. They're going to nod because they've both got the two-handed wreckers, and they are going to go charging in. They could both overclock. They're both going to overclock, which means they do 1d3 damage. Grishnak takes 2 points, Horoth takes 2 points. They both take 2 points of damage, putting Horoth down to 4, Grishnak down to 6, but it gives them +2 to 1 stat, which is going to be strength, giving Grishnak a +3 and Horoth a 0. And they are going to charge in. Grishnak is going to go for the guard. Horoth is going to go for the warlord. So we're going to do D20 plus D8. Horoth gets 0, needs 12s. Horoth fails. Grishnak needs 9s. Grishnak fails as well. So they both charge in pathetically and don't do any damage, but they're all sort of right up front, wreckers in hand, as the elf and the warlord are going to now attempt to retaliate and probably finish them off because they're all quite battered about now. They're going to have to do some healing. We will have the elf is actually going to roll morale. The elf could run away, but the elf warlord would not run away. Oh, we might run away. It says never taken alive, but it doesn't say we wouldn't run away. All right, let's see if they run away. So we've got the elf, 8s. 9, the elf is going to attempt to leave. The warlord, so if the warlord doesn't, the elf will stay. 9s, the warlord will stay, so that means the elf will stay. The elf is going to attempt to shoot. We'll roll the d4 to find out who, the d20 to see who dodges. So it's going to shoot at the 4th one, which is Rabbit. Rabbit has a 6, which is -2, which is a foul. Rabbit takes 6 points of damage. Rabbit goes down. So Rabbit goes unconscious as rounds go through his torso. He goes, "Oh no!" And he goes down. And that's the elf. And then we've got the warlord. The warlord, we've now got a d3, haven't we? The warlord is going to open up. Oh, Doom Cannon. Does the Doom Cannon fires 3 times. So this might be at each of them. Yep, each of them. Each of them gets hit. Okay. So Zern. That's an 11. So that's a successful dodge, isn't it? Zern dodges out the way. Grishnak, ooh, 9 doesn't. Grishnak takes a 3. Grishnak's still standing. Oh, -2 for the armor. -2, so he takes 1 point of damage. So Grishnak goes to 5 hit points. As some rounds off of the Doom Cannon, which is just going mental. The mutated elf warlord, his face looking all pockmarked and horrible, screams loudly as he opens fire, wildly aiming at everybody, and Horoth goes down. Horoth goes down as well. So Horoth, rounds penetrate Horoth. Grishna goes, "Brother! What you doing, you stupid bloody elf?" And then we'll have Zern and Grishnak again. "Zern, do something bloody useful." He's going to try and summon a car and see if it can actually do whatever. Yeah, and he's going to try and hit the guard with a car. So if he fails, he's got presence of 0. Come on. All right, he fails. So that goes to 0. Zern's done nothing good the whole time. D2, 1 point of damage, goes to 6 hit points. Grishnak's going to go, "I'll do it then," and he charges in and he's going to try and hit the guard. He's got a strength of +3, -2 because of his mangled up eyes, which gives him a +1, which means he needs to roll 11s, and he does a D10 damage, and he's going to go for the guard. He misses the guard because he just gets a 6. Oh my god! He's going to spend his miracle. He's going to spend a miracle and he's going to try and re-roll that. No, he's going to spend his last miracle and he's going to try and re-roll that. Yes! But he only does 4 points. So he's got no miracles left. But the guard is on... Oh, -D2. The guard is on 2, so the guard's on 4 hit points. Alright, if the guard and the elf... Alright, now we'll see if the elf and the guard want to leg it again. Elf needs to roll 9 or more. Nope, elf is staying unless the warlord goes, and the warlord is staying. They both stay. We have the elf is going to... We've got D2 doing 8 points of damage. Who does the elf shoot? Does anyone dodge it? It's a failure against the first one, which is Grishnak, who takes 3 points of damage. Minor, who takes 1 point of damage. Grishnak is still standing on 4 hit points. Then we have the mutated elf warlord. How many? He's probably got one more shot. This is the last one of his Doom Cannon. It shoots both of them. And we'll go for both of them. We'll go Zern. Zern takes 1 hit point, -2 for his arm. Well, he's been alright, isn't he? So a spark goes off. They've both got D2. And then we've got Grishnak. Grishnak fouls again. He's got a D2, which will come off. He's got 1 point comes off, which is 5 points. Leaves him on 0 hit points. As Grishnak goes down, he's just Zern standing there. Alright, Zern stands there. He's got no powers left. He does have 2 miracles. I could burn the miracles and give him a power and attempt him to do a power. He has a meat attractor which lures beasts and hungry things. He could try and chuck that at him and then do... Alright, what he's going to do, he's going to charge into them both. We're going to imagine they're both standing together. He's going to charge into both of them and he's going to try and hit them. He's got a -1 to his strength. He needs to do a strength test at 12 to slap one of them and do a D4 electrocution and stab the other one with a shiv. He might be able to do it, you never know. So he's going to do 2 attacks against them. He gets a 19 and a 17, which I'm going to count as 2 hits because I think it is 2 hits. So he does 2 D4 damage against each of them. So against the elf warlord, it's potential he could kill the elf warlord. He does 2 points of damage. The elf warlord does have armor, but we could just kill the elf warlord. The elf warlord's armor would protect against the damage, but he's going to use a miracle to make the elf warlord fail that roll. I'm not too sure if you can do that, but he's going to do that. So the elf warlord gets stabbed up. Then we're going to have the elf guard. He takes 4 points of damage. The elf guard has a D2 armor. It has so he takes 3 points of damage, putting the elf guard on 1 hit point. Right, so the elf guard is standing there on 1 hit point. It's the elf guard's turn. If I roll over 8, the elf guard is going to try legging it. No, the elf guard is going to stand there and he is going to try and fight back against Zern, who is in front of him. There's all mess all over the place. There's blood spurting out of the elf warlord's throat, which has been slit by the shiv. There's blood dripping off of the elf guard's long rusted, long ago good armour as it drips to the ground. The elf guard is going to lock and load, and he's going to reach forwards, push the gun against Zern's head and pull the trigger. Zern needs to roll, what's he got? He needs to roll 10s to defend against this. Before he fails, it does a D8 damage against Zern, who has 6 hit points remaining. It does 6 hit points exactly, but Zern has his D2 armour, so it does 6 hit points, which protects him from 2, doing 4 hit points, putting Zern on 2 hit points. Zern is going to, as rounds, point blank range, they're both, well, we've got the 2 elf head and the orc head, face to face, you know, a very borged up orc head, elf grimaced in sort of very pallid, thin skin drawn against his face. The rifle shoved, the big 2-handed cannon shoved up into Zern's ribs as he lets it blast, and we can see Zern reacting and just leans forward and grins, and Zern is now going to try and he's got 1 miracle left. He's going to try and stab him up with a shiv. It's like, we can only hope that Zern doesn't mess this up. He is going, because that would come out as a 10, which is no good, so he'll burn his last miracle to re-roll that, and he gets a 3. Okay, so he fails, so he tries to shiv in, the shiv goes in and will go. The shiv breaks, the shiv snaps. That was burning his last miracle. He has no other miracle. The elf is going to laugh. I mean, he's not going to go now. They're both on sort of like last legs. He is going to attempt to shoot. He's going to back away and attempt to shoot. So he's going to smack him with the butt because that's more cinematic. And so he needs to roll 10s to dodge it. 11s, that's good enough. Okay, so he dodges the butt as it comes slamming across from the elf. He just backs up out of the way. He is going to, he's going to have to use his electric arm. He's going to run forward and he's going to try and grab him. He needs to roll a 12 to hit him. 15! He does a D4 damage. He's got a D2 armor. Does 4 points of damage. D2 can't protect it. It was on 1 hit point. The elf. He runs forwards, grabs him by the face, goes, "I love ya!" And then there's all sparks going all around the elf's face and all around the elf's body as the elf spasms, drops the gun and falls to the ground. Zern starts panting. Now we will quickly see if Zern can heal these 3 and get them up. We will give him 1 roll, 1 presence test for each of them to heal a D4 hit points, and then what do we got here? We'll follow this one. What's this one? It's got when you hit 0 hit points, you're down. You're toughest now, so you don't die until -6. If no one comes, then you get up. What we'll have is we'll have it. Well, it says here that if no one comes to help you or finish you off, you wake up in D6 hours with D6 hit points and a cracking headache. But you have to roll on the mangled table. So how about if he fails the roll, they're mangled. If he succeeds in the roll, they don't get mangled. But they still get a D6 hit points back. So Zern with Grishnak, failing the roll, so he gets mangled. And we'll do that next turn. Hroth might be dead. A 1. Hroth needs to make a strength check. If Hroth fails, he's dead. Oh, he succeeds. All right, he comes up and he's mangled. And Rabbit. Zern has presence of 0, so strictly speaking, that's a failure. So that would be he is mangled. So all 3 of them get mangled, and they come up with D6 hit points, which we will do that now quickly. So we'll go a D8 and a D6 for Rabbit. and then we'll end. A 4 is rabbit. Rabbit mistrusts anything in writing. He can't read anyway, but he gets 3 hit points back. Then we will have a Wrath. 3, become best friends with a goblin who is exploiting you. All right, and a 5, he gets 5 hit points back. And then we've got Grishnak. Both of them have got a goblin friend that they're making up, and he's got 6 hit points back. All right. I don't think these are very much long for this world, says me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. That there was Orc Borg. We will continue the adventures of Orc Borg. We'll probably, so that was, what was that? That was episode 9. Next episode will be episode 10. We'll see how long we'll go. Maybe we'll go to 15. I was only expecting to go to 10, but these lot have survived longer than I thought they would. I thought they were going to die today, to be honest. And really, I think we'll give them no more coming up and getting mangled, because those mangled rolls were pretty weak. I think this is their last chance to get out of this hole, and then we'll roll some other holes. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really do appreciate it. Each of your subscriptions counts and helps. If you're not a subscriber, do consider being a subscriber. It really does help to push the channel out there, and you should see it down there to be a subscriber. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all of your support, all of your financial support and your moral support. We have additional members, as you will see down there. It really does help, particularly at the moment with what's happened with life and everything. It really does help, and I'm attempting to do this. So I'm going to be writing some books, and I've written a little, just very, very thin sort of Star Wars thing that I'm going to do for Sunday, which is the 4th. Sunday's May the 4th, and so I'll push it out on Sunday. I'll record that at the end of this week for Sunday, and I'll let that, you can have that for free. I don't know whether I'll put that on the website, or I might put it on drive-through, but I'll pay what you want on drive-through. And we'll see how things go. Thank you so much to everyone. I will see you very soon for more of this fun and games. See ya.